This is me playing a T110E5. You probably recognize the tank. And this is a tier 10 Stronghold skirmish game. But there is one small difference. I'm playing with Fame. This is a tier 10 Stronghold match with Fame. John and I were in between clans last weekend. We moved to QSF main, more on that in a different video. And we got invited by Fame to play Strongholds with them. And it is different. It is a whole nother beast. It is World of Tanks plus. John and I are used to either giving commands or following commands in Strongholds. There is no such thing as actual commands throughout the whole game in Fame. Fame just does. Fame just goes into the game and wins. I have no other explanation for it than they just win. It didn't matter what would happen. They would win. We could get completely surrounded and win. John and I, when we were done playing Strongholds with them, were just scared of how easy they make it look. It does not make sense. Those mediums had to push into those E5s, and because they hesitated, Fame just killed 3 of them without any issues. And when they finally do push in, everyone reacts in such a way, each other's side is just protected, each other's backs are protected, they form a circle while they get surrounded and have people waiting a bit in the back to shoot the people that are flanking. This all happens without a command given. Everyone in Fame just knows what to do. I myself am particularly happy with this game because I was top on damage in a Fame Stronghold. I am actually proud of that. But to give just a few examples of Fame just doing, we noticed an E5 in the valley. We already scouted out the town here, so we know they're probably going to push valley. Without a command given, everyone moves into the A7-8 area or into B5, B4 area where they are hold down. Just gonna wait for the people to push in. With this as a result, that E5 lost all of its health, not knowing where the enemy would be, and Fame just pushes in now. Still no command given. And playing with Fame without any commands given is weird. It is scary. You are afraid of making mistakes. I felt the first day like a complete noob. I did not know what to do while everyone around me was just doing it. Whatever it was working. Without fear for their own lives and or health, everyone just pushes into the valley to kill whatever is there. Now I have to admit the enemy is not the best enemy. They made mistakes, they split up and their split up didn't work. But it's just, this is how they play against everyone. Without fear for their own health, they just know what to do. And when I say the split up of the enemy didn't work, they pushed the middle too late with their medium tanks, causing the flanking maneuver to fail. CJ, who wasn't particularly given the command to spot middle, if a command is given, it is usually someone saying, someone spot middle. Stayed in the middle and saw the enemy mediums coming in. And well, that E50 is quite unfortunate with his ram, because CJ just casually evades him. I've noticed in whatever clan I am, when someone tells to push, people sometimes hesitate, sometimes question, should we really push? None of that in Fame. When someone says, let's push it, everyone presses their W key and goes. It is... I don't know how to explain this. People listened, but at the same time, did whatever pleases them, and they would win. And because everyone pushed their W key, the enemy would meet a big fat scary blob of Fame coming their way, all firing their guns at them. And this behavior would continue in tier 8. The thing is, in tier 8, no one asks what tank should I pick. They just pick whatever premium they want and they play it. There is no, should I pick a lightweight or maybe an IS-3? Nah, Scorpion G is good enough. Or maybe the M41 girlfriend. Canon and Jagdpanzer? Don't care. Just play it. And again, this enemy is not the best enemy, but that is the whole point. Because an enemy like that sees Fame, their instinct tells them to camp. And the thing is, this was the second day of playing with Fame, and I already got into the whole thing of there are no commands, you do whatever feels best for you to do. I have no words, but other than Fame knows how to break a camp instinctively. That's not really that surprising because I presume that Fame meets a lot of camping enemy teams. But without any actual commands given, look at the minimap. Look what happened. Instead of everyone trying to get into one position and push out the enemy, we just surround them. Like, that just happened. No one tells them out. Light tanks go around while the rest of us stay here and try and get their attention. No. Everyone just sort of goes into their own little groove and starts shooting when they have a shot, or tries to find the best position to get a shot, and then surround them. Trying to coordinate this with actual commands would be hell. You would have to tell the light tanks to spread out over the ridge next to them, while the Scorpions stay in this position, maybe some light tanks going into the hills and the medium tanks to stay in front of them. But none of that stuff in Fame. No, they just surround them automatically. And fair play to the enemy. Basically, I've seen this before. If an enemy gets surrounded, they push out onto one flank. The thing is, Fame doesn't care. They just shoot and kill people that push out. So without any real effort, we have lost 2 tanks and the enemy team is just slowly dying. They've got a lot of tanks on basically 1 or 2 shots and out of position, while we still have a lot of health left and are in good positions to shoot them. I have never seen a clan make Strongholds look so easy without organization. Because they don't have organization, it's chaos, but it's organized chaos. Everyone knows exactly what the other person can do. Now this tier 8 game is something that I cannot explain. I literally cannot explain. Me and John are going into the field just below the dip. Because we heard someone say, let's go field, so I assume that is the field. The thing is, no one from Fame actually goes into the field but stays in the uppy bit, so without actually telling John also kind of felt it, we had to pull back and go up until the upper part of the map. And I'm really glad we did, because when we arrive up there, we notice there's an FCM, 1390 and RU suddenly below us. The enemy team have pushed into the rubble up against our heavy tanks. And the T-49 and the enemy Scorpion are basically in a position to shoot me, CJ and John if we try to poke out and shoot their heavies. I believe there's something like a saying, or at least something that is a saying. We are surrounded, good, now we can fire in every direction. Because let's have an actual look at what's happening on the map. I mean, right after I try and kill an RU-251 and move into a worse position for myself, firing a high explosive into the side of heavy tanks is life. Alright, now let's have an actual look at what the flip is happening. The FCM and 90 are behind us, we've got the heavy tanks in the middle, and the Scorpion and the T-49 ready to shoot us as we try and cross. The IS-3 and the OHO, they're still there, ready to give support. And basically, if I was in this situation, I'd say we are surrounded. But are we really surrounded though? I mean, I'm in a bad position for the heavy tanks, but they are not really pushing out, they're not really doing anything. If you look at the minimap, I've got the T-49 coming up behind me. I didn't notice up until now. And someone said, someone have a shot on the T-49. Turns out they did have a shot on the T-49. Suddenly, we kill 5 tanks. We just killed 5 tanks within like 10 seconds. I have no clue how that happened. But I was thinking to myself, we are surrounded. How are we ever going to win this? We kill another tank. That Scorpion G flanked the OHO and is now fighting their Scorpion G. Our tanks push in and we have suddenly won this game. I cannot explain how Fame did this. It just happened. And this was the second tier 10 Stronghold game I've played with Fame, so I'm still really new and scared of what's going to happen. Someone said, let's push the hill, and someone said, no, just push middle. I believe it was Bino that said it, or Bino. Just push middle. And I know this is Fame we're talking about, but it scares me to the living bone how they've done this game. Let's have a quick look at the actual setup before we go into whatever is happening. Alright, so Noxus is a good clan. They have a better setup technically than we do. They have got 5 heavy tanks, which is not a lot, but it's more than just 2 heavy tanks. We have 4 grills. We have 4 Batchats, they have 3 Batchats. We have 4 140s and a T62A. They have 6 140s and T62A. We have an RT, they have an RT. So technically, I would say that Noxus has the better setup, mainly because they have more heavy tanks. You know, city map, heavy tanks, it should work together. And I know I said at the tier 8 part, there is no question of what tank should I pick, People just pick the tank they want to play, and that is certainly the case at tier 8, it is also the case at tier 10. However, after this game, there was asked if we could have a few more E5s. So we basically rushed the middle into their windows. This is a tactic that I know Fame uses a lot, and from this point on, I'm going to apologize for the camera being a bit dodgy. The free camera doesn't really work anymore. When I zoom in with my tank, for some reason, the free camera also wants to zoom in. So that's why you suddenly see me zoom in and out sometimes. But they have put people on the hill. We've put one Badget on the hill. We are on their side of the map, and they are just losing tanks and health for no particular reason other than it is Fame. I cannot explain how this happens. They have lost another E5. And now our 140s, D6-8 and E5 are pushing their tanks. Those two grills, which I thought were going to be kind of meh in Himmelsdorf, are putting so many shots in that Noxus cannot handle the damage loss. And that's what I mean with the camera zooming in and out. I have to zoom out myself, while the free camera is like, no, you zoomed in, I want to zoom in as well. And at this point, the game is already won. We have only lost 2 tanks doing that push, while Noxus is, well, from this point on, down to 5 tanks. It is just a cleanup job right now. We have lost 2 more tanks, and I have been spotted in the middle. I'm being chased down by that 140, and Noxus lost another tank. And while I am a smoldering wreck, that 140 that chased me down lost its health to 3 Fame people that just chased him down. I have to admit, Fame is really, really unforgiving in Strongholds. And they make it look so damn easy. I have just no words for what I experienced the weekend I played with Fame. I am severely impressed in how easy Fame makes World of Tanks look. Would I do it again? Yes.